When considering to save or spend, besides calculating the inflation rates to look at the real price and looking at the interest rates of different savings accounts, you should also consider the rule of 72. The rule of 72 is used for understanding how long it will take to double the principal, which once again, the principal is the amount of money that you put into an account. So if I want to put a certain amount of money, it could be any amount of money for the principal, into a savings account, and I want to know how long it's going to take me to double that principal, I divide the number 72 by whatever the interest rate is, hence the rule of 72. So if I have a savings account that, let's say, has an interest earned of 7%, I would simply divide 72 by 7. For this, I do not have to convert the 7 to a decimal. And if I do 72 divided by 7, I get 10.28 years. It will take 10.28 years for my principal to double, no matter what the amount it is that the principal represents, whether it be $100, $200, $300, whatever. For that amount to double, it would take 10.28 years. The rule of 72 is used to see how long it would take for your principal to double in an account with different interest rates. If I have an account that offers 5% interest, I would do 72 divided by 5, which is 14.4 years. It would take 14.4 years for my principal to double, no matter how much money that is for the principal. This rule of 72 is used for accounts that offer compound interest. Compound interest is beneficial because the interest that is added into your account considers the interest that was earned from the account itself. It considers the principal that you yourself put into the savings account plus whatever interest was earned prior to that. And it will compound multiple times throughout the year. This is more beneficial than simple interest because it will earn you more money. Now, while there is an algebraic formula that is posted on Edmodo on how to calculate compound interest, the longhand way, so that you understand what's going on, looks something like this. If you enter and deposit a principal of $1,000 into an account with compound interest of 8%, then you will be earning $80 extra in year 1. Now, for year 2, I will have $1,080 times 0.08, the 8% earned on that savings account. So I multiply 1,080, which is the amount that I put in, the principal, plus the amount that was added on from the bank, from the interest that was earned, and I receive 86.4. That 86.4 gets added in to my already existing balance. For year 3, when the interest is added, I'm taking 8% of an even higher number. I add that on. And you can see that as the interest is added on each year and calculated, I'm yielding a higher return than the total interest earned. That's how compound interest works. If this was simple interest, then I would only be earning interest on the principal every year. So every year, year 1 I would earn $80. Year 2 would be the same exact thing. I would earn $80 instead of 86.4. Year 3 I would earn $80 instead of 94.9. Compound interest considers not only the principal, but the amount that has also been added on in interest, and it takes the percentage of those larger numbers and gives you a higher return. Now, one more thing that you should consider as far as these accounts go is liquidity. And we didn't spend too much time on this in class, but there are different accounts, the savings accounts that banks offer are going to offer higher or lower liquidity. Liquidity is the ability of you to turn your assets, which can be in the form of different accounts or in the form of actual tangible assets, into cash. For example, a passbook savings account. Even though it's a savings account, it is relatively easy to get your money out. That has high liquidity because it is easy to get that money out of the account, out of the passbook savings account, and turn it into cash. However, the interest earned is low because you're going to be taking your money out. So I'm going to put an L here for liquidity for this column and an I here for interest for this one. CDs, certificates of deposit. They have fairly high liquidity, not as high as passbook savings accounts and checking accounts. And in the grand scheme of things, even though they have higher interest earned than a passbook savings account, it's low. Money markets. Money markets have fairly high liquidity. Yes, you are agreeing to keep your money in for a certain amount of time, but it's easier to get out compared to other ones. And their interest, though higher than passbook savings and checking accounts, is relatively low. Time deposits. Time deposits are those long-term accounts like an IRA or a 401k. Those are the retirement accounts. Low liquidity. Very difficult to get your money out. There is a large penalty fee, and you must keep your money in there for the agreed amount of time while the account is maturing. However, the interest earned is higher. Real estate. Not always easy to turn a house back into cash. Lower liquidity. But the return is usually higher. Then stocks. Usually high liquidity. It's easy to sell your stocks. The return, while it should be high if you do it right, can be low as well if something unpredictable happens. And government bonds. Government bonds, high liquidity. You just go to the bank and sell them, and then make sure you set money aside just in case to pay your taxes the next year. But you hold on to those bonds for a longer amount of time because they yield low interest. And if you want to see any type of return, you must let them mature over a longer period of time.